Basics of measurement. Now take an example. Suppose you want to buy some apple or sugar. You are going for a market where you are buying says 2 kg sugar. What happens? For 2 kg measurement you need what? Instrument. So what instrument you need? A measuring instrument which weighs a 2 kg of sugar. So without instrument it cannot possible for you to buy exactly 2 kg of sugar. So likewise for other things, for measurement of voltage, for measurement of power, for measurement of pressure, temperature, you need some kind of instrument, and you are measuring the voltage in volts, current in amperes, temperature in degrees Celsius, etc. So here we will see necessity of measurements. Why measurement is necessary? So first thing is whatever the things you want to measure, that will be having some kind of dimensions. So voltage will be measured in volts, current will be measured in amperes, like etc. So those things should be what? Accurate. What is the necessary? So whatever you are buying like 2 kg of sugar, you need accurate measurement of 2 kg. So likewise for other things also accurate measurement is needed. Again here with the help of these things means instrument, you are measuring some things. Again those can be converted to other forms with the help of a transducer. So what is transducer? A transducer which converts any physical quantity to other electrical or mechanical quantity. Vice versa is also possible. Next, whatever things are measured, those can be converted to digital form. Next, whenever you convert the signals into digital form, what happens? You can amplify those weak signals also. Weak signals are amplified in a digital form. So these are some necessity of measurement. Next concept is generalized electronic measurement system. Here you can see one diagram. This is a generalized measurement system. All the measurement system will be consisting of these block diagrams. What are they? Physical system, sensor, transducer, manipulation, controller, indication, recording. So one by one we will see all those things. So any instrument is there, whichever you are using, either a voltmeter, ammeter, multimeter, CRO, anything, any instrument, those instrument will be consisting, or any measurement system will be consisting of these blocks. First one is a physical system. So physical system means it is a visible for you. For that you are connecting your input signal. Say you are measuring voltage. So you are connecting to input signal, again which in turn connected to the sensor. What is sensor here? Sensor is connected to input signal which is having a capacity to convert your input signal to electrical signal. So sensor, it always sense the condition of a input signal and gives the output to a transducer. After sensor, again you will see transducer. What is transducer? Transducer is also known as a variable conversion element. So what transducer is doing now? Transducer always converts a physical form of a signal to a electrical form. So one form of energy to another form. Next one is a manipulation. What the manipulation block does here? Manipulation block does some mathematical calculations. So some sort of mathematical rules will be following for the input signal and converting it to it. Next, after manipulation, the data is transmitted to the next level. So see here, after manipulation, what has been done? The signal is modified now. It is transmitted through the wire to data presentation. So in the data presentation, you are having a controller, indication and recording. What the controller does? It controls the input signal. What is the indication? Indication is a display device. Whatever you are measuring here voltage, that voltage is indicated here on the indication. Again, recording. Recording means if the instrument has some sort of storage, that will be recorded in an instrument. So all the measurement system will be having these blocks. What are they? Physical system, sensor, transducer, manipulation, controller, indication and recording. Next we will see errors. What is error? Error is a deviation from a true value. Here you can see three kinds of errors. Gross error, systematic error, random error. So in the systematic error, again it is further divided into three: instrumental error, environmental error and observational error. We will see each one of the error. First one is a gross error. What is this gross error? So these errors are due to human mistakes in reading of the instrument and recording and calculating results of measurement. So gross errors are, these are happen due to human mistakes while calculating, while recording, while reading of the result. These errors can be occurred. These are avoided how? By taking care while taking readings, or these errors are also avoided when you take 2, 3 or even more readings, so that gross error is avoided. Second type is systematic error. So these errors are repeated consistently with repetition of experiment. So in the system itself error is there. Whenever you take 2, 3 or more than 3 readings also, same kind of error will be repeated in this situation. So these errors, systematic errors, are eliminated by taking repeated measurements under different conditions or with different equipment or entirely different methods. So these systematic errors, how you can eliminate? You can take the readings under different conditions or with a different instrument. So in the systematic error, you are finding other three kinds of errors: instrumental error, environmental and observational. So first one is instrumental error. So if the instrument itself having a error, then what you should do? You change with a same kind of same kind of instrument. Suppose you are taking one CRO, so it is having fault in that, then you take readings with the other CROs. Next, environmental error. So environmental error is due to pressure or temperature conditions, humidity, dust, vibrations. Let's say example, temperature. So whenever the temperature is high, what happens? Some of the electronic parts like IC will get damaged. So at different temperature conditions, you do experiments so that errors are avoided. Next, even electrostatic and magnetic fields can also avoid these environmental errors. Means the instrument should be protected with the magnetic and electrostatic fields so that environmental errors are avoided. Other one is a observational error. So observational error is same person can do same kind of mistake. So you try with the other person so that errors will be minimized. So parallax error. Parallax error means whenever you see from left side of the instrument some one reading will be there. Whenever you see on the right side other readings will be possible. So parallax error is avoided whenever you sit straight at the center of the instrument. You can see the reading. So these are completely eliminated by the use of a digital display output. Whenever you are using a digital display output, observational error is also avoided. Third type of error is a random error. So random error is caused due to accidental, small, and these are independent. So random errors are unpredictable. These random errors are due to friction in the instrument or a parallax error or backlash in the movement or hysteresis in elastic members or due to mechanical vibrations. So these are three types of errors. What are they? Gross error, systematic error and random error. Next we will see sources of errors. How the errors are caused. What are the source? So here you can see 8 types or 8 sources. First one is a noise. Second one is response time. Third, design limitation. Fourth, energy exchange by interaction. Fifth, transmission. Sixth, deterioration of measuring instrument. Seventh, ambient influences on measuring system. Eighth one, errors of observation and interpretation. Errors arise from faulty calibration of a measuring system. The errors are also arise from the following sources. What are the first one is noise. So error is occur due to noise. What is noise? It is a signal that doesn't convey any useful information. So noise is what? It is having a it is not having any useful information. Due to noise what happens? The other good information is also mixed with a noise and creates error. So to avoid noise, what you have to do? In the measuring system, whatever the instrument will be there, that instrument should be in isolation and you should be done a shielding so that noise can be avoided. Second type of source is response time. So Time taken by the instrument to show 63.2% change in a reading a step input. Whenever you are taking a step input, if it is taking a too much of time, then that is also one kind of error. Third is a design limitation. In the design of instrument, friction and resolving power lead to error. So sometimes what happens? The friction of the instrument or its power will lead to a error. Fourth kind of source is a energy exchanged by interaction. To operate instrument, energy is required. This required energy may altered to a greater or lesser extent depending upon capacity of the system. So sometimes what happens, the one kind of energy is converted to another or greater or lesser extent, so that error occurs. Fifth type is transmission. So during the transmission of the information, what happens? Energy is lost in the channel. So whenever the energy is lost, you cannot get at the output. So this is also one source. Sixth one is a deterioration of measuring system. So whenever sometimes what happens, there may be change in the resistance value due to environmental conditions. At that time also information gets changed and error occurs. Seventh one is a surrounding influence on the measuring system. So surrounding influence like dust, vibration, these are also causing the measuring system some kind of error. Last one is the errors of observation and interpretation. That is a random error. So whenever a person is taking reading, that person can also make a mistake due to which error occurs. So these are some sources of error. Next one is a standards of measurement. In the standards of measurement, you can see four kinds: international standard, primary standard, secondary standard, and working standard. Whenever you measure something, you are measuring a watts in kilogram, likewise voltage in volts, current in amperes. So at la laboratory level, at an industry level, at a national level, or at an international level, some sort of units, standard units they are following. So those are divided likewise: international, primary, secondary, and working. It is a physical representation of a unit of measurement. So what are these? These are physical representations. International standard. We'll see international standard. Whatever the standards are there, international, primary, secondary, working, these are all having some kind of physical quantity. So those for the physical quantity, they are applying some kind of units. We'll see international standard here. These are fixed and developed by international agreement. So international standard is developed at a international levels. Different countries will make a agreement and follow some sort of units for the measurements. So what are those standards are there? Those are maintained at the Bureau of Weights and Measures. So that will be maintained internationally, and all the standards will be having a best possible accuracy. So those units will be very much accurate, and these international standards will be given for a primary standards for its calibration. So for the calibration of primary standards, international standards were given. and these are checked periodically. International standards are checked periodically. Second type is a primary standard. So primary standard is maintained at a national level. So different countries will be having their own standards. Those standards will be calling as a primary standard. So our India is there. So India will maintain some kind of standards. So those standards will be maintained at our country itself, not outside the country. And these are used to calibrate and verify of secondary standards. So for the secondary standards calibration, primary standards are given. And these are also having a very much accurate measurements, and these are calibrated at the national laboratories by making absolute measurement in terms of the fundamental units. And these are calibrated against the international standard. Next one is a secondary standard. So where the secondary standards are maintained at various laboratories and industrial organization. So these secondary standards are calibrated against a primary standard, and these secondary standards were given to the working standard for its calibration. So these are also a physical quantity, and these are having accurate results. After comparison and calibration, the particular industry laboratory is certified with a measuring accuracy in terms of a primary standard. So company will be given some sort of certificate for a measurements, so that what percentage levels are maintaining against the primary standard. Next, last one is a working standard. So these are used to check and calibrate laboratory instruments. So whatever the instrument we are using at a laboratory levels, those are working standards. These are also having some sort of accuracy and some sort of performance. They are prepared in the quality control department of measurement laboratory. These are also periodically checked and having a good accuracy. So these are four kinds of standards. What are they? International standard, primary standard, secondary standard, and working standard. Another kind of standard is there, that is a IEEE standards. So IEEE standards are not any physical quantity. These standards are like steps or procedures or symbols. So first we will see what is this IEEE. IEEE is a Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer. So IEEE standard, its headquarter is in New York. So these are not physical items. IEEE standards are not any physical items, but it will be having a procedures. What are the procedures should be followed? What should be the nomenclature? What is its definition? So that is defined by this IEEE standard. IEEE standard again, say an IEEE standard addresses the laboratory oscilloscope and specifies the control functions, etc., so that operator does not have a re-educate himself when he uses. Means whenever you are using CRO of different companies, the knobs will be of different counts. So what IEEE standard does, it specifies some controls. So every CRO should be having some these many inputs, these many outputs, some these kinds of buttons. So that standards were defined by this IEEE standard. Even say some resistor symbol is there. Logical, semantic, whatever the symbols of capacitors are there. So those were defined by this IEEE. Even the power plants, whatever the safety of wiring in power plant, ships or industrial building is there, those things are also defined by this IEEE standard. Next we'll see bridges. There are two kinds of bridges, AC and DC bridge. With the help of bridge, we are measuring what? Either we are calculating a resistance or a capacitance or a inductance values. So in a bridges, we are having a DC and AC bridge. Here you will study only Wheatstone bridge in a DC, and in AC bridge, Maxwell and Shearing bridge. So R, L and C. Wheatstone bridge calculates resistance value. Maxwell bridge calculates inductance value. Shearing bridge calculates capacitance value. Wheatstone bridge.